Nepal and Bhutan are two neighboring countries in South Asia with similar geographic, cultural, and historical ties. Both nations are landlocked, nestled in the Himalayan region, and share borders with larger powers like India and China. However, their military capabilities differ significantly due to variations in population size, economic resources, geopolitical priorities, and strategic focus. This article provides a detailed comparison of the military strengths, structures, and roles of Nepal and Bhutan. 1. Geopolitical context. Nepal is strategically located between China to the north and India to the south. Its military primarily focuses on internal security, disaster management, due to frequent earthquakes and floods, and maintaining stability in its rugged terrain. Nepal also contributes significantly to United Nations peacekeeping missions, deploying thousands of troops worldwide. Bhutan is a small, mountainous kingdom bordered by India to the south, east, and west, and China to the north. Its military plays a crucial role in defending its sovereignty, particularly along the disputed border with China in the Doklam region. Bhutan relies heavily on India for defense support, as per a bilateral agreement signed in 2007. 2. Military size and structure. The Nepalese armed forces consist of three branches: the Nepalese Army, Air Force, and Armed Police Force. Active personnel, approximately 95,000 soldiers. Reserve forces, limited reserves due to resource constraints. Equipment includes light tanks, armored vehicles, and small arms, but lacks advanced weaponry or air defense systems. Bhutan. The Royal Bhutan Army, RBA, is the primary military force, supported by smaller units like the Royal Bodyguard and militia groups. Active personnel, around 8,000 to 10,000 soldiers, making it one of the smallest militaries in the world. Bhutan does not maintain a separate air force or navy. Instead, it relies on India for aerial and logistical support. 3. Defense budget. Nepal's annual defense budget is modest, ranging between $400 to $500 million United States dollars. Most of this budget is allocated to maintaining existing infrastructure, paying salaries, and conducting basic operations. Nepal does not invest heavily in high-tech acquisitions or research and development. Bhutan's defense budget is even smaller, estimated at around $50 to $70 million United States dollars annually. A significant portion of Bhutan's defense spending is subsidized by India, which provides financial and logistical support. Bhutan prioritizes border security and counterinsurgency operations over modernization. 4. Equipment and technology. Nepal relies on outdated Soviet-era equipment and some modernized gear supplied by friendly countries like India, China, and the United States. Major assets include 2. Light tanks, e.g., Type 59 tanks from China. Armored personnel carries small arms and artillery. The Nepalese Air Force operates a mix of helicopters and transport planes, primarily used for logistical support and humanitarian missions. Cybersecurity and electronic warfare capabilities are minimal. Bhutan's military equipment is basic and largely provided by India. Major assets include 2. Light infantry weapons, artillery pieces, vehicles for transportation and logistics. Bhutan does not possess advanced weaponry like tanks, fighter jets, or missile systems. The country relies on India for air defense and surveillance capabilities. 5. Training and readiness. Nepalese soldiers are renowned for their mountaineering skills and resilience in challenging terrains, which makes them valuable contributors to international peacekeeping missions. Training programs are constrained by limited funding and outdated curricula. Joint exercises with neighboring countries like India and China help improve interoperability and tactical knowledge. Bhutanese soldiers undergo rigorous training focused on mountain warfare and counterinsurgency operations. The Royal Bhutan Army receives training assistance from India, including joint exercises and capacity-building programs. Bhutan places a strong emphasis on defending its borders against external threats, particularly from insurgent groups operating along the India-Bhutan-China tri-junction. 6. Strategic alliances and diplomacy. Nepal maintains a policy of non-alignment but enjoys close ties with both India and China. It participates actively in UN peacekeeping missions, deploying thousands of troops worldwide since the 1950s. Nepal's strategic location between India and China makes it geopolitically significant, though it avoids taking sides in regional conflicts. Bhutan has a special relationship with India, which plays a dominant role in its defense and foreign policy. Under a 2007 treaty, India is responsible for Bhutan's defense and provides military aid and training. Bhutan avoids formal alliances but aligns closely with India to counterbalance Chinese influence in the region. 7. Border disputes and bilateral relations. Nepal shares a long and mostly peaceful border with India, though occasional tensions arise over disputes like the Kalapani-Limpiada or Lipulik-Tri junction. In 2015, Nepal accused India of imposing an unofficial blockade during the Madhesi protests, straining bilateral ties. Bhutan's most significant border dispute is with China over the Doklam Plateau, where Indian and Chinese troops engaged in a standoff in 2017. Bhutan relies on India to mediate and support its territorial claims against China. 8. Role in regional security. Nepal's military plays a stabilizing role within its borders, focusing on disaster relief, internal security, and combating transnational crimes like human trafficking and smuggling. Its participation in UN peacekeeping missions enhances its reputation as a responsible member of the international community. Bhutan's military focuses on defending its sovereignty, particularly against external threats like insurgent groups and border incursions. Bhutan works closely with India to address regional challenges such as terrorism and cross-border smuggling. Conclusion: the military comparison between Nepal and Bhutan highlights significant differences in scale, resources, and objectives. Nepal's armed forces are relatively larger and more versatile, capable of contributing to international peacekeeping missions and managing internal security. In contrast, Bhutan's military is smaller and more reliant on India for defense support, focusing primarily on border security and counter-insurgency operations. Despite their differences, both countries face similar challenges, such as managing relations with larger neighbors, India and China, and addressing internal security concerns. For Nepal, balancing its relationships with both powers is key to maintaining stability. For Bhutan, its alliance with India ensures protection while allowing it to maintain its unique identity and sovereignty. By fostering good relations with their neighbors and leveraging their respective strengths, Nepal and Bhutan can continue to play important roles in promoting peace and stability in the Himalayan region. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts.